Okay. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Sports Dummies at a special time. We are live. It's me and Mike today. No Matt. He is on assignment, we'll say. Matt is on assignment. So
He
there'll
is.
be no top five today. I know, sad face, bummer, but that's okay. We're gonna we're gonna talk
We
about
need to
what.
recover from the candy bar last week, though. So that's
Yeah,
good. We need to recover from the candy bars.
yeah,
So
yeah, especially the bad ones. Um,
yeah, yeah.
so we're gonna talk about Thursday night football and what an atrocity the Pittsburgh Steelers defense has become. I told you I had some stats here that we could talk about right off the bat with this defense, and it's this. Since Terrell Austin has become DC of Pittsburgh in total defense, and this is yards per play, since 2022, he has ranked 23rd, 23rd, 17th, and now 11th, and that was before last night. Apparently, I had no idea until I started researching that he is ranked the seventh best DC in the league. And I'm assuming that's by his peers.
Wow. So shocked.
Well, yes, shocking because here's the other tidbit in that. This defense has gotten Mike Tomlin's fingerprints all over it.
Yes.
So who's the problem? Is it Terrell Austin, who by his peers claim that he is in the top 10 of DCs in this league, although his defense ranks in the bottom half every year? Or is it Tomlin, which again we're going to say it's Tomlin, who can't keep his fucking nose out of the defensive room? And on top of that, I'm just going to make a small correlation to all of this. No more than 3 hours east of Pittsburgh, there was a university that fired a guy over this mediocrity. Now, it took them 12 years to do it because they finally figured out we don't give a shit what you do in the regular season. We give a shit what you do in the postseason. And if you can't win big games, you can't be here. The drags me into what are we doing? Is this organization just to the point where they're just comfortable because they have a guy and they're enamored with the fact that they've never had a losing season, but can never sniff the playoffs for more than the first round? What is going on here?
Right. So as a fan, I think you and I have been on this page for a long time together. I don't care if you're over 500. I don't give two shits about that. We haven't won a playoff game since 2016. We haven't been a factor since 2016 in the AFC.
No, like nobody is
This
scared of our
is
defense anymore. Nobody.
no one
They
bit.
clearly it's a joke. I've even heard Julian Edelman on his podcast talk about how he's been out of the league now for what 3 or 4 years, and he was talking to somebody within the New England organization, and he was like, he's still running that shit because
Mm-hmm.
that's why we beat them every time because they ran the same
Yep.
fucking defense every single
They
time.
have not changed. Right. They have not changed. Um, for a defense that's paid $20 million more than the next closest in the entire league, they're a sham. Um, last night you went in thinking, okay, we would have decided edge on offensive line and defensive line. Well, here comes the Cincinnati Bengals, averaging 56 yards a game rushing. Chase Brown tore us up. Perrine tore us up. Joe Flacco tore us up. And then, okay,
Chase,
so we're losing. We're
oh
winning 10
Jamar
nothing.
Chase, oh Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Do we? Why are we not playing inside technique on this guy? Why are we playing
No idea.
outside? Why are we playing outside technique on him when he's easily gonna? He's telegraphing the fucking play when he's gonna cut
Right.
inside
Right.
immediately 1 yard off the ball and catch the ball for 5 yards, and if not, go yard.
Right. I mean, listen, they played some zone early in the game. came back, played some man. Never played it over under against Jamar Chase when he had over 20 targets. So we come back on this great drive to make it 31-30. And what do? Go back to man. Like, what are you doing?
You know what happened when they tried to run zone and they ran zone and they bracketed T Higgins and they bracketed Jamar Chase. You know what happened? Oshavosh
Yeah,
ran
you
up
should
the
have.
Oshavosh
Right
ran
down
up
the middle.
right up the middle, right up the
Yep.
middle for a 60, 70 yard gain,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that they
Yep.
stopped. So one play.
Yep. Yep.
I
One
mean,
play.
I'm sure it was more than one play. And,
Right. Right.
somebody will probably bash me for it later, but yeah, the one time they got caught with their hands in a cookie jar, they burned
Mm-hmm.
them for 70 yards to their tight end. Um, Here's what's unexcusable. Not only did Jamar Chase, again, fantastic athlete, not taking anything away from him, but 16 catches in a game, 23 targets in a game, 11 catches in the first half of a football game. We couldn't figure something out.
Where's the adjustments? Where's the adjustments at?
We couldn't figure anything out.
Right.
Who
Don't
did you
understand.
game plan for then?
Right.
Not to mention, let's talk about the fact that Trey Hendrickson was out.
Right. Right.
He didn't play. And then
I mean,
now, Jalen Warren had a good game because of that.
yes,
He did.
very good
He
game.
did.
Yeah.
Okay. But the entire offense had great games. I mean, 400 over 400 yards for Cleveland or for Cincinnati, over
Right.
350 yards for Pittsburgh. Offenses had a great game. There was
Right.
no defense, but guess what?
Right.
We had the better defense. They didn't, and they beat us.
Yeah.
And they had their
The
top
one.
guy out.
Right. Here's
You
the
know,
thing. Here's the crazy thing about the whole Chase thing. So Joe Flacco was getting rid of the ball within 2.5 seconds. What do
okay,
you figure was going to happen, right?
had
That vaunted Steeler defense pass rush had 2 sacks on Lane. Only had 4 pressures the entire night. You know, you're more than just one player, guys. You're more than just T.J. Watt. You're more than just Cam Hayward. Herbig and Highsmith. These guys got beat last night. They got a coach last night. They got outplayed. And I know the Bengals were their backs were against the wall. But damn, when you have a team down 10-0 in the first quarter, you can put them out of their misery for the season almost, and you let this happen, unexcusable.
right.
And it's like I think that's kind of why when we made these picks for this game, when I said I'm not optimistic, I'm not pessimistic, I'm a realist. I'm
Right.
realistic. This is why, because it
Right.
doesn't shock me what happened. It just
Well,
frustrates me knowing because. So Chase has 11 catches for 99 yards in the first half. The second half, he has 5 more catches on 12 more targets. You still let the guy beat us in that last drive.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
the last drive in order for them to kick a field goal, he catches the ball on the 49-yard line going into Steeler territory.
wide open. Wide open.
Nobody was within 20 yards of him.
Right. Right.
How
Come
does
on.
he get that open? Please
How do you
help
lose
me.
number 1? Right. Come on.
Especially when the guy has already gotten, at that point in time, 15 catches.
Right.
I mean,
Unacceptable.
that entire coaching staff, those players, now granted, I'm sure those players are pissed. You're doing what you're told to do when they call the play out. You're putting yourself in those, that's the positions that those coaches are putting you in at that point in time. So we can sit here and ridicule the players all we want. But the fact of the matter is that somebody's in charge of those players, telling them, this is the defense I'm calling. This is where
Yes.
you're going to line up. Okay. But what are we doing? Here's a little stat here that I wish I had known prior to Wednesday's show that we did, because I wouldn't have taken the Steelers if I'd known this. Mike Tomlin all time on Thursday night football right now because he lost again is 2-10. Do you know what he is against divisional opponents on Thursday night?
0-9 now.
I have 0-7. So yeah, but either way, he's either
Yeah.
0-7,
Right.
0-9. He's 0, 0, no
Right.
wins,
Over.
none,
Yeah.
none,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes you worry
Unacceptable.
because it makes you worry because the next game that we have is not a Thursday night game, but it's a Sunday night game. It's another prime time game,
Right.
and it's against a far better team than this one was,
Yeah.
who was only there for 8 days.
Yeah. It's amazing how, I'm not surprised again. I hate to say that, but the I've just gotten so used to them and numb to the fact that he does not make adjustments at halftime. Um, Chase Brown looked like the Chase Brown of last year. Just opening up. They were opening up huge holes against the defense. Huge holes. Um,
It was disgusting.
it was like it's like they knew what we were calling. Every time you saw Holcomb in, they'd throw. Every time you see Wilson in, they'd run. you know, I mean, it
And
was just
let's
bad
also
play
talk.
calling.
Let's also let you said play calling. Let's also talk about on how bad the officiating was.
It
Some of
wasn't
the
good.
that first touchdown that Chase caught for that first one, that was offensive PI all the way.
Push off big time. Right.
It
Right.
was huge.
Even Ray Lewis said it today, which I was
I
pretty
was
shocked by.
shocked. I just read that before I hit
Yeah.
live over here, and
Yeah.
Ray Lewis was like, there was nobody that wanted them to lose more than me, but that officiating was egregious against
Mm-hmm.
them. It was disgusting. He goes, somebody's got
Right.
to look into this. And again, this goes back to the whole argument that these guys need to be on the roster full time. We can't have
Mm-hmm.
Joe Schmo, who works as a bank teller Monday through Friday, and on Sundays he gets to fuck off with the pros and call a couple games. No, you need to take this serious because you're not.
Yeah. Right.
And there needs to be a grading system for these guys. You want to do, PFF, you want to do all that shit and hurt somebody's contract money and stuff like that when you go to negotiate. Well, PFF only has you at 16 out of 17. Well, we should be doing the same thing with officiating. And guess what? The good
Mm-hmm.
ones, they get the playoff games. They get the Super Bowl. The dog shit ones, if you finish in the
The hell.
bottom, yeah, if you finish in the bottom, we're finding somebody new to replace you next year.
Right. Well, what's funny? You say that even high school, they grade their officials.
Right.
The better ones coach. Better ones are calling playoff games. I mean, come on. You
Exactly.
know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. There needs to be some time of it.
Yeah.
There needs to be penalties. There needs to be consequences for these officials too, because they're not being held by any type of standard. It seems like
Right.
they're just getting to go out there
Yeah.
willy nilly and call professional games that have lots and lots of money at stake.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's like we really need to do something. And as far as if I'm not mistaken, their CBA contract with the NFL is up next year. So if I were them, I would probably demand. Actually, for them, they don't give a shit. But the NFL, I would demand we
Yeah.
want full time people. You know, Y- you're a $1 billion industry. The NFL. You mean to tell me that you can't pay you know uh, 8 times 16, whatever that is. You can't pay almost 100 people, 100 extra employees, and then in the off season, what should you be doing? You should be studying tape. You should be learning more shit.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of things for you to do in the off season
Absolutely.
to hone your
Well,
skills and get better.
go and how about this? Go and officiate the UFL games. Go officiate the other leagues that are going in the springtime games. You know what I mean? To sharpen your skills.
Why
I
not?
mean, I
Why not?
mean,
Run a deal.
I'm gonna do.
Run a deal with the UFL.
Right.
UXFL, run a deal with them
Mhm.
and say, hey, look, you play football, we play football. We're going to pay our
Mhm.
guys. We want them to have more exposure, more time, everything. They're getting paid full time. They're going to come officiate for you as well.
Right.
And as a matter of
Yeah.
fact, I would take because again, there's not that many teams in that league, but I would take the bottom half. You
And
take the
have them all do it.
take the
Yes.
16 through 32, right? Just like with
Mhm.
there's 32 teams in the NFL. Take the bottom 16 through 32, those officials, and you send them to the UFL and you let them hone more of their skills, getting
Right.
more looks, understanding more football. Because sometimes it seems like they don't understand shit.
There was a couple of calls that were questionable last night, for sure. I'm just getting back on track. I'm not blaming the officials for this loss. This loss was Cincinnati wanted it more. They deserved it.
Look,
Um, the
I'm
Steelers
not.
made Joe
Yeah.
Flacco look like Joe Montana.
Hmm.
Um, you know, um, it would look like we were playing against Jerry Rice and John
Right.
Taylor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Roger Craig, Chase Brown looked like Roger Craig. I mean, it was just pathetic. Um, and guess what? It doesn't get any easier on this next three games. They're against three teams right now. They're in the playoffs in Indianapolis, the Chargers, and
Green Bay.
Green Bay. Thank you. So
Playing
you
Green
better
Bay
right the
next
ship
weekend.
quick.
Yeah. Playing
Right.
Green Bay next
You better
weekend.
right the ship quick. So
So, um, but yeah, I mean, can you put this? Here's my thing too. There was there was a lot of factors that led up to the Steelers' loss. It wasn't one thing. It wasn't two things. It was many things.
right.
The officiating was one of them. How ill prepared we were was another one.
Blatantly
The
obvious.
the defensive play calling, huge. The defensive scheming, huge. The fact that Cincinnati hates us just as much as we hate them, and they came to play, and we didn't, essentially. So, you go back and again, I talked about this before, and I even wrote this stuff down. I wrote this stuff down in real time. Where was Washington? Where was John Smith? Where was Fryermuth? Well, I kind of ate my own crow there because all three of them caught all the touchdowns. You know, but you, I think DK had 6 targets all game.
Right.
Move him around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get creative. Figure
Right.
something out. The guy is an anomaly. It's kind of like what they're doing in Philadelphia with AJ Brown. They're just,
Yeah.
what are we doing with the guy?
Right.
Which,
Totally agree.
by the way, I'm hearing his name getting floated around repeatedly about coming to Pittsburgh in a trade.
Yeah. You know what? It doesn't matter if we. To me, a lesser second. Listen, Roman Wilson looked fine last night when he was in there.
But
3 catches,
and that's the
Conley.
and
But
that's the
are
other
we going
part
to
of
use
it.
him now?
But that's the other part of it. Where was Scotty Miller? Where was Skoranek? Where was Roman Wilson?
Right.
You know. And if you are so hell bent on dumping it off, then why don't we have a two-back set with Gainwell and Jalen Warren, and they're running routes out of the backfield?
Right. Right.
And then you can
I
easily make
said,
a check. I need you to stay back and block,
right.
or
Again,
check.
I just think ill prepared. You hit it on the nose there. This team was ill prepared on both sides of the ball, more so on defense. You put up 31 points in this league, especially with the defense that we're supposed to have. That should be an automatic W for you.
No
But
question.
you know,
No question.
uh, they have to go back to the drawing board. They're 4-2. Guess what? Everyone's back in the race now.
Yeah.
At 5-1, we look a lot different than 4-2.
Hmm.
So,
Yep.
um,
And the
and,
bigger
and
one of the
listen,
bigger
as
numbers.
far as I'm concerned, Buffalo and Baltimore are still in play here because they're still in Kansas City. They're still the three best teams in the AFC, in my opinion.
I hate to say it though,
So,
but the AFC is wide open.
oh, it is absolutely right.
It's not as separated as I thought it was 3 weeks ago,
Mm-mm.
because
Right.
that Buffalo loss to Atlanta on Monday night, boy, that blew my socks off.
Well,
I couldn't
no
believe it.
team in the AFC doesn't have a chink in their armor. That's the thing. Baltimore has a very bad defense. Without Lamar, they're nothing. Buffalo's defense is atrocious. Um, Kansas City, again, they don't score enough. We'll
Right.
see getting their guys back what happens, but they win, but again they got their ass beat too a couple times. So
Hmm.
AFC's wide open.
Right.
We're gonna have to earn it if we get into the playoffs. We have a game and a half lead still in the division, but we have three huge games coming up against playoff teams.
And that's
So
and that's the sickening part too. Had we won last night, we were 3 games up. Three games
right,
up. Now we're only a game and a half.
right, 6 games into the season, you'll be 3.5 games up, three games on some teams. That's nuts.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
you
And
know,
the worst part about it is we're the one record we need to look at too is that they're 1-1 in their division. Should be two
right.
should be 2-0.
Yep.
You know,
And you could have buried the Bengals for all intents and purposes.
could have buried
I
everybody
mean,
in our division by going up 2-0.
right,
You know,
right. Yep.
but yeah,
As they
talk
say,
about
game on, game on.
what's the famous phrase? Any given Sunday, right?
Yep,
No, there's your prime example of any given Sunday. In
yep.
this case, any given Thursday.
Well,
It's just
don't let us play on Thursday anymore. We'll be fine.
yeah. As long
So
as if we play every game on Thursday, we're going over.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Real quick, also before we jump into picks, um, I want to just touch on a little bit of college again, and primarily in the Penn State realm. Um, Couple names I'm hearing getting floated around. Kirk Signetti, though, big name. Um, Boy, they didn't waste no time.
What?
Indiana.
Nope.
They said, let's take him out of the equation immediately and gave him an 8-year, $93 million deal, giving him $11.6 million per.
It's
More,
deeper than that, though. From what I understand, there's a lot of hidden money that's not in that contract.
well, I'm
From
sure of
what
it.
I heard this
I'm
morning. Yeah,
I'm sure of it. I'm sure some boosters are probably sliding some things his way and everything like that,
yeah.
especially considering that one of the boosters in Indiana happens to be none other than our very own Mark
Mark
Cuban.
Cuban. Yeah, yeah.
So, um, yeah, but hey, look, when you're a high priority in the Big Ten or SEC or wherever you are, and you have you know, you're at a college, and your gets floated out there, and you're nowhere near off of the current deal you're even on. Some people tend to think like, hey, if we don't make a move and lock things up now, you know, so as soon as there was doubt out there that Kirk Signetti could have potentially,
Yeah.
they went out there immediately and was like, here's all your money now.
Yep.
Okay. Take all the
Yep.
money now. We want you to stay
That's it.
forever.
And kudos to the Indiana for doing that. Honestly.
Absolutely. I don't fault them at
No.
all. I mean,
No,
obviously
me neither.
he was my first place trophy. I wanted him in the
Hmm.
worst way, but hey,
Yeah.
kudos to Indiana for saying, you didn't say the magic word, just like they
Right.
did in Jurassic Park. But here's an interesting name, and I think this is so funny too. Well, first, before I get to that, um, the one name that you got to call, Nick Saban. You got to call him.
Why not?
You got to call him. Why exactly? Why not? What's he going to say? No.
Right.
Okay. I had to find out. I needed to know. Right.
Right.
Okay. Fine. Nick, you're off the table. Good. Now that I know, I did my due diligence.
Right.
Um, this is a far fetched one, but Bill Belichick. I know he's not in, he's in Chapel Hill and they're not happy with him down here, but I think with him getting more reach out of a bigger school would help him a lot more. But it's not going to look good on his resume anyway that he's not doing well in North Carolina. But again,
Yeah.
it's a
I
it's a
think
it's a
on
legendary
name
coach.
value,
Yeah,
wow. But as a whole, the entire package, I think we named people at the university want a lot more than just name
well,
with
listen,
him.
that's the same thing that would go along with Deion Sanders.
Yes.
It's a name
Absolutely.
factor, but you don't want all the circles
Right.
to follow with, right?
Hmm.
You know, um, and another name that I see getting floated around a little bit here is Urban Meyer.
Yeah, I heard that quite a few times yesterday. As a matter of fact.
Right.
Yeah, and that
If you
one
if you
is
think about
very
it,
interesting because
if you think
it
about it,
makes sense.
it's not bad. It's not bad at
No,
all, especially in a
no,
college rank. NFL, different story. College ranks though,
right,
very successful in college.
absolutely.
Very
Hmm.
successful in college.
Yep.
And then the last
Bucky
one,
knows the Big Ten.
right? And then the last one that I heard, and I absolutely hate this idea, is Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame.
I heard that one. That one.
So
You
it's
can
so
keep
funny.
Marcus Freeman.
It's so funny. So there was a meme that I saw, and I sent it to my buddy. He's actually from out that way. His name's Justin. Um, he's actually from State College. Okay. So I sent him this meme that I saw, and it says, "Explain this to me like I'm 5. Penn State wants to replace James Franklin with a younger James Franklin whose signature win with Notre Dame is against James Franklin."
Right, right.
I thought that was hilarious, but it's true though. You know,
Yeah.
Freeman hasn't done shit either.
No,
He seems to crumble
no.
under pressure as well. And the only reason why they're ranked as high as they are is because they're Notre Dame.
Yes, absolutely. So the funniest thing I saw yesterday, which was a Key and Pill skit where they were doing, was that actually James Franklin coaching the last 3 weeks, or was it the Key and Pill
Right.
set?
Right. Right. Yeah.
You know, um, yeah, I heard that a lot about Freeman. I didn't understand that one
No.
whatsoever. He hasn't been impressive to me, so you know, you can keep Notre Dame. Um,
Yeah.
the other three names make sense, more sense, just because of the name value and with Urban and Nick Saban, why not
Yeah.
reach out to them?
Yeah.
Why not?
Phone call. Why not? Exactly.
Worst they can say is no.
Exactly. And I'm
Yeah,
still hearing
yeah.
I'm still hearing that the kid from what's his from UCLA.
Oh, Jerry Neuhauser.
Newhouser, that's it. I'm hearing
Yeah,
his name a lot. And uh, you know, people are very excited about the potential of him maybe being the next head coach for Penn State because they have a lot of hope and they have a lot of um,
hmm,
they're seeing a lot out of him that would make them think that he's the guy. He's going to
yeah,
be he's going to be one of the next gurus that come out of some small or lower level team that's going to take a big program and just make it
right.
his own and make it a formidable opponent. So I don't know where that all shakes out, but I'm okay with them taking their time and figuring this
Oh,
thing out
absolutely.
and getting it
To me,
right.
you have to do the rest of the year. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, absolutely. You have to.
Yeah,
You can't just willy nilly on this one.
right.
All right. So, um, let's jump into the picks.
All
This is
right.
going to be pretty quick. This is pretty much all we're doing today. We had to get this show in because we were both unavailable at different points before Sunday was going to roll around. So we had to squeeze one in here. So this is the best we got. And then after we get these all done, I'll send this over to Matt, and then he can mull his over and send us his picks. So the first one I got here, another London game. The London Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be playing the LA Rams. The Jaguars are surprisingly getting 3.5 in this, but if you look at it, Puka Nakua is out in this game, so that's probably why that this is happening, and they're getting points the way that they are against this team. So Jacksonville is getting 3.5, and the over under is set at 44.5. I actually think well
Hmm.
this spread would have been a lot more had Puka been
Yeah,
playing,
with
but
Puka. Yeah.
as a matter of fact, this opened up. Nope, it stayed the same. It's been at it's been at 3.5 the whole time. As a matter of fact,
Interesting.
the only thing that changed on this was the over under. It wasn't 45.5. It's now 44.5.
Mhm. We're doing our thing. Mom says hello.
Hello, Shar. So uh, I think I think I'm going to go with your team, Mike. And the reason why is because Puka, even though he was a huge piece uh, to that offense, and missing him is going to hurt. It's also going to hurt everybody else because it now there's no worry. There's no eyes on him anymore. So now it's going to be focused on everybody else that is there. So they're not game planning for him anymore. And it's opening up Devontae Adam. It's opening up the running game, and it's opening up everything else about it, Higby and everybody else. Um, but now that he's out and there's no worry, now we are going to be able to focus on the running game. We are going to be able to focus on Devontae. And with Jacksonville and the team that they have at the moment, which seems to be okay. They're 4-2. Um,
Right,
Typically at this time they're 1-5 or 0-6. Um,
right.
I I'm gonna end up leaning towards the Jaguars in this game. And as far as the over under, I'm gonna take the under on this one because the last London game was not good, and
Oh,
I I have a feeling that this is probably going to continue that 2 week stretch here, going into the second week of just a bad game and bad scoring for that matter. So I'm going to take the under, but I'm going to take Jacksonville.
I'm taking the Jags in the under also, just
Okay.
because I think that's the strength of these teams. Now the Rams without Puka, they have a very good defense to begin with, and Jacksonville's defense is a lot better than people think. Um, it led them to that 4-2 record. So I'm going
Right.
to take the Jaguars in the under. I don't know if they win this game, but I think it's a very close field goal type of game either way.
Hmm.
I think that hook sold me that 3.5,
Right.
but I'm taking Jacksonville in the under. I kind of do like the Jags to win this game, but in a very low scoring game. Very low scoring game.
Agreed. Next one I have on the docket here is shit. Give me 1 second, okay?
Sure. Hmm.
Hello. Hello. Hey Jordan, how are you? Yes. Stop. So we're gonna eat. Okay. No, no. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, it's perfect for me. Starting 100. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Right. It is 1775 Golden Mile Highway to CVS. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. Bye bye. Med change. Stop nifedipine and start taking Losartan 100 milligrams. Do labs in 2 weeks and follow a low potassium diet. Potassium ends up raising it. So to follow a low potassium diet. To figure out what that is though. Did you get it? Better. What was it? Is it a pimple? It's gonna be a lot of blood. All right. I'm back. I had to take that. It was from my transplant team. I had to do some do some changes to my meds. So hey, we're back, everybody. Sorry about that. Had to take a quick phone call. But everything's all good. So yeah, just trying to stay alive. It's okay. So yeah, back into what we were originally talking about, which was the Rams and the Jaguars. We were finishing that up. We good on that, Mike?
Yeah, we're good. Both Jacksonville and the under.
Right. Is there anything else you need to add it to that? We good. Anything you need to add it, or are we good?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Here we go. Next one is a shit game. New Orleans Saints, Chicago Bears at the Bears. I don't see any weather complaints over here. Just real quickly, it's like 56 for a high, cloudy. I don't see anything else that would suggest that this game's going to be any different. Um, Although I heard the next game will be, but we'll get to that. So the Saints are going to get 4.5. The over under is set at 46.5. At this point, I don't have any notes on this game as well as far as any ins or outs. I'm going to assume that everybody is in. So
Yeah, I haven't seen anything injury wise.
no, and I have Kamara on my fantasy team, and I'm actually going to double check to see.
I did read that he missed practice the other day,
Right, I'm actually
but
going
I
to see if
haven't
he
seen.
still has a tag on him. He still does have a tag on him for questionable, and it's for his ankle. But he was removed from the injury report, so he's going to play week 7. He's going to play
The,
this
o-
weekend.
the only other one was DJ Moore spent the night in the hospital after last week's game, but I haven't heard much about him after that.
As a matter of fact, I think I just saw something on Twitter about him. He's good to go after a hospital stay following Monday night's game.
Okay. Okay.
DeAndre Swift is questionable, and Carlos Santos is out, meaning Jake Moody is going to kick again for this game.
Interesting.
Um, so yeah, there's that seems to be it, and that doesn't seem to really play any factor, I think, in this game. Um, I could see the Saints getting another win in this one because the Bears are up and down. Sometimes they look spectacular, and other times they look like they're just right back where they started with a rookie quarterback who can't do anything because he's got no offensive line or anything like that. They're 3-2, they're 1-1 at home. Um, I just don't know if the Bears can beat anybody by more than 3 points. I'm going to take the Saints on this one,
Okay.
and I'm going to take the under in this one as well.
Okay. Um, on my end on this one, let me see where I'm at. I kind of leaning here towards the Bears in this one. Um, two teams that really aren't going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm definitely going with give me Chicago in this one in the over.
Oh, wow.
The Saints have allowed multiple passing touchdowns in 8 straight games. I don't see that ending in this one. I
Okay.
think the Bears score a lot of points, but I could see the Saints putting up a lot of points too.
Okay.
The Saints have allowed the fourth most fantasy points to quarterbacks all year, so I don't see that ending in this one. Give me like I said, the Bears at home and the over.
Yeah. Okay. The next one, two bad teams are going at it. This one is the one that I think that I heard that the weather is not supposed to be the greatest. It's supposed to be rainy, sloppy. It's the Dolphins going against the Browns in Cleveland. Dolphins are getting 2.5, and the over under is set at 36.5. I'm going to take Cleveland in a sloppy game if that's the case, because I don't think Miami being a timing type of team. Um, And if they get loose, the footing and everything like that starts getting shitty, then I'm thinking the Browns are going to be able to go ahead and run the ball more effectively with Judkins, even though Achan is also a beast. Um, so I'm going to take Cleveland in this aspect because I just think Miami is just that bad. Um, and if it's going to be sloppy, I'm still thinking I'm taking the under on this 36.5. So I'll take the under and I'll take Cleveland in this one.
Cleveland in the under.
Yeah. 36.5 is the over under. So, if I didn't,
36 and a half. Oh, yeah.
if I
I'm
didn't
going to
say
take
that.
Cleveland in this one also.
Okay.
Give me the over.
Okay.
Only because I see a defensive touchdown in this game. Give me
Oh,
Cleveland for defensive touchdown.
got it. Wondering. Just making sure you
Again,
didn't
I'm with
forget.
you on the sloppiness of these two teams. Um, Betting nugget though, which was against what you and I just did. The Browns are 1-8 against the spread in their last 9.
Yeah, but they're also playing
Very,
a terrible. They're not playing a great team either. So
but Miami's very bad too, so I'm not
yeah.
worried about that.
The only thing that's bad for Cleveland, and it's not even that bad, is that Njoku is out.
Yeah,
But
Fanning Jr. will be there,
but
so
but Fanning has been, when people thought to themselves, why are they taking this guy uh, in the draft? Cleveland. Well, there was a reason, and that
yep,
he's very good,
very good.
very good.
They did their
Um,
homework on him, and he's a
yeah,
good player for
yeah.
sure.
All right. Next on the list, you got the Patriots going against the Tennessee Titans. Um, Titans are going to get 6.5. Over under is set at 42.5. I think Drake May is that guy, but Tennessee losing their head coach um, midway through the season here. I think again, I know that there's stats out there. Whenever a team loses a coach, they end up playing a little bit better, um, almost proving that they weren't the issue, or they're playing for their coach, or whatever the case may be. But they seem to have a little bit more uh, camaraderie around the team whenever that happens. 6.5 though with New England, I think is a little bit too big of a number, even though they obviously have a better team on paper. I'm going to actually take the Titans plus 6.5. I think it's a lot of points
Wow.
still. I think this one's going to be close, even though again, you wouldn't think it was, but there's always those outliers. I mean, we didn't think that Cincinnati was going to be able to do what they did to Pittsburgh last night, and then here we are.
Right.
So I'm gonna take the Titans on this one, and I'm gonna take the over in this game as well.
Okay. Let me see. I'm going to take New England this one. It's a the Vrabel going against the Titans.
Yep.
First
Rabel.
time since he got fired.
Yep.
I think that's going to be in his mind. I think they have a superior team, superior quarterback as of now. How much can the guy get? Mike McCoy's been with the team, obviously. They're just turning it over to him. Will we see a change? I don't think so this early. The 6.5 is a pretty big number, so I get where you're going with Tennessee. I just think this game's gonna be a little bit more scoring than people think. Because both defenses, which I thought they would do better, they haven't been this year. And I can see the turnovers on Tennessee's part, unless they keep it simple. But I don't see that happening. So give me New England the over in this one.
Good. The next one we have is the Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Big spread, big spread. The Raiders are getting 12.5, and the over under is set at 45.5.
Wow.
I think the Raiders are as bad as the spread says they are. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I still believe that Brock Bowers is out. Um, again, Geno Smith has not looked great this year. They are still,
No,
I think Genti had a good game last year or last game, if I can remember correctly. Um,
he had a good game 2 weeks ago. Weird thing about Genti, they need to start giving him the ball more
right.
for sure.
Yeah, you got to
Without,
put
especially with Bowers out,
yeah, you got to
you
put
know.
the ball in the hands of your playmaker. And
Right, right,
I think Trey Turner is good, but they don't give him enough. Jacoby Myers is their primary, but
right.
you can't get him opened up unless you get Genti moving. So I think Kansas City figures all that out. Kansas City's got most of their guys back. They're
Race is coming back this week finally, so
yeah,
big addition to that.
they're starting to fire on all cylinders at this point. I'm gonna take the Chiefs and lay the points, and I'm actually gonna take the over in this one as well.
Interesting.
I think the Chiefs are gonna be able to do it. I think they're gonna blow this team out. And I know it's a divisional game, and usually that doesn't happen, but I just think the Raiders are just that bad.
They are. I mean, I'm with you. It always is. It's just divisional games always. Man, it just to me always teams seem to play a little more tighter to the vest in those games for some
Yeah.
reason. The one thing I did read about these two teams, the Raiders in this series have covered the last 3 times as road underdogs against them. But again, with Geno Smith turning the ball over so much, that's a lot. Um, that's a. I like the over in this one myself. Um, I don't know if 12.5 is enough. I'm kind of with you there. Um,
And that's the other
man,
part too. Like, you said that they were able to cover their spreads, but what were those spreads?
right,
You know what I mean?
right. I don't know.
Were they 2.5,
Right,
3.5? I don't know if they were ever 12.5.
right. Exactly. That's a big number.
Right.
I know the Raiders' defense. They've allowed the fourth most receptions and fifth most fantasy points to wide receivers. Which with Worthy and Rice back now, that's huge. So I can see Kansas City scoring a lot. So I'm definitely taking the over in this one.
Okay.
Um, give me, you know what? Give me Las Vegas in this one in the over. I
Hmm.
think that's a big number. I think they're going to backdoor it somehow. I do think Kansas City can get their running game going against the Raiders too. The Raiders are allowing 4.7 yards per carry, and you know what? With the passing game, the way it should open up the running game as well. Um, so this game, I just think the Raiders are the Raiders are going to backdoor touchdown late. It'll be to cover the over and cover the spread too. So give me Las Vegas in the over in this one.
Okay. Vegas and the over. You got it. Next one, Eagles versus the Vikings in Minnesota. The Eagles are giving 2.5. The over under is set at 43.5. I've kind of been back and forth on this game because again, these theoretically on paper are two of the better teams in the NFL. Now, granted, Carson Wentz is the one starting for the Vikings, not JJ McCarthy.
Right.
But the Eagles seem to be on a bit of a schneid. They don't seem like their team is cohesive. They kind of seem like they're all one for all, none for all. Or, they're all for
Yeah.
themselves. They're not as one for all for one, that type of thing. I think I think I think Philly drops another one, and
Wow.
I think this is the game, and this would be a nice little revenge game for Carson Wentz. Um,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
well,
It is a big revenge game.
he started with the Eagles, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Viking getting points at home, but I'm gonna take the under in this game.
Okay.
And there's no real reason why I took the under. I took it because I took the last two overs.
Right. Um. Let me see. I'm taking Philadelphia in this one. Um. I'm taking the over though. Their offense has been sputtering the last 2 weeks, losing consecutive games to Denver and the Giants. They need to get on track. I tell you what, it's time for a Saquon Barkley game. This is a good defense to run the ball against. They've given up over 4.5 yards per carry in the last few weeks. I just think that they're going to get back to basics in Philly, and their defense. Carson Wentz has played well. I'm not going to talk bad about the guy. He's played very well since he's been there. I just think he makes a few mistakes, and the Eagles turn it around and get back on a winning side of the column this week. So give me the Eagles in the over in this one.
Yep. Okay. The next game, going to be a little bit warmer down in or up in Jersey, which is weird. Um, it's going to be about 70 degrees in Jersey this
What?
weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, in this weekend. It's what I think it's what they're predicting. But at any rate, the Carolina Panthers are going to go to MetLife Stadium, and they're going to this basically a pick'em game. They're going to give a point and a half. The over under is set at 41 and a half. Chuba Hubbard is in for Carolina. He is back. That's a big deal for me. New York, just every time we think that they're going to win a game, it's their time. They blow it. Um, I think Carolina's got enough, and the Jets don't seem to know which way they need to go. So this one, even though it's pretty much a pick 'em, you could have gave the Jets a little bit more points here. I wouldn't have been phased by it. I'm taking Carolina, and I'm taking the over in this game as well.
So you said it's 1.5 the spread. The Jets are getting 1.5,
That is correct.
and it's 41.5 the over under.
That is correct.
Hmm. Oh man, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know
And
why I'm doing. I just feel.
I
I
know,
just feel it's a.
but listen, I felt the same thing the last 2 weeks with the Jets, and they've disappointed. So
Yeah. The one thing about the Panthers offense is big. They're getting better week to week, and Hubbard and Dowdle could be a very nice. You know what? I'm taking Carolina in the over. I'm with you. I was going to take the Jets. Give me Carolina in the over. Coker's back this week for Carolina. Carolina's running game is really. Tell you what, they're really with Dowdle in, and now you get both Dowdle and Chuba. Man, that's a nice 1-2 punch.
yeah,
And you know what? Taking the pressure off Bryce Young, McMillan looks really good. He's had a hell of a last 3 weeks.
I think he's averaging
Um,
like 8 targets a game or eight
yeah, it's
catches a game.
crazy. And
Eight
and
catches.
and I mean, he scored touchdowns in back-to-back games. I mean, and now Coker's back for them. So
Right.
I'm not going to pick the Jets just because I'm not going to pick them until they win a game.
And
Maybe
that's the
this will
and
be
that's the
it.
thing. And that's the thing I was thinking about too. Like I'm not going to pick them until they show me that I can pick them, and they haven't showed me that I
Right.
can pick them.
I
I've
mean,
I've wanted to, I've tried to, but
I really want to pick the Jets in this game.
I know.
And screw it. Give me the Jets. I'm taking them. I talked myself out, but I'm taking the Jets in the
All
over.
right,
I am taking them
all right.
just
So you're going
because
to
there's a
take.
team they're going to beat.
Okay,
If there's a team they're going to beat defensively with a bad defense, it's Carolina. If they don't win this week, it could go winless. So,
this will be a good tell then.
mm-hmm.
This will be a good tell.
So they do play Miami too. So, but I think they've lost to it already. So,
This one here is a 405 game. I had a time wrong on this one. All right, next one is should be a good one, especially considering of what the Giants have been in the last couple weeks here. So the Giants are going to go to Denver and play the Broncos. Um,
ooh, that is a good one.
Denver is giving 7.5, and the over
Wow,
under is set at 40.5. Um, I think that's a
wow,
lot
big
of
number there.
yeah, I think that's a lot of points to give the Giants. I That's hard for me to lay those points. I'm going to take the Giants for Denver to try to beat them by more than 7. I mean, I possibly 10, but If that team is rolling and really feeling themselves, I could see them. I could see them shocking Denver and winning this game. Um,
Yeah,
winning this
that's a
game
big
outright.
number.
Yes, winning this game outright too. Uh, so I think the Giants actually pull this one out, but I'm still taking the points in this one. And as far as the over under, it's at 40.5. I'm taking the over.
Yeah, 40.5 is a big number. Damn.
I'm going to refresh
That's seven.
just to double check, and it's 7.5.
Wow.
What did this open at? Hasn't moved. 7.5. The only thing that's
Wow.
moved, the only thing that's moved was the over under. It went from 42.5 to 40.5. That would be
That's
indicative of
crazy.
somebody being out. So what
Yeah.
is that? What is that? Let's
I don't
go.
see anybody out. Let me see for the Giants being out. Who is out? I know we know Neighbors is out for sure.
Um, so out for the Giants.
Ellen Moore, their
Swayze.
offensive tackle's out.
Well, they got Swayze Bozeman out, Demetrius Flanagan Foles out, and center John Michael Schmitz out with a concussion. Doubtful is Golston, their defensive line with a neck injury, and Darius Slayton with a hamstring injury. Questionable is Abdul Carter with a hamstring, and Victor Demukiju, however the hell you spell his name, outside linebacker with a pec injury. So I don't know if this 7.5 is warranted just by having Slayton doubtful and a center out and a couple of linebackers, especially guys that maybe Bozeman I can understand, but you still got Jackson Dart.
You still got Scadaboo. You still have
You still got
Jackson Dart. Like,
yeah, you still got Dart. You still got Scadaboo. You still got Robinson. Yeah, I'm not buying this one. I'm on the Giants. I'm on
right.
the over.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm taking the Giants in the over. That number seems a bit large, yet the over under seems,
Bit low.
Dart and Scadaboo, just that offense is better than people think, in my opinion.
I agree.
Um, so give me the Giants in the over with the possibility of winning this game.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I agree. I agree.
yeah.
Um,
There's a different mind frame now in New York.
mhm.
You have your quarterback of the future. You have your running back possibly of the future, and the defensive line is. Tell you what, you can put them against any defensive line in the NFL right now. They're that good.
Yeah.
Um, if they're back end you worry about with Denver, Bo Nix has played pretty well. Cortland Sutton still hasn't gotten off the schneid at all. One or two good games the entire year. Um, Dobbins has looked nice for the Broncos. The
Mhm.
rookie Harvey hasn't done much at all, And I just think I just think the Giants, man, they're an up and coming team who you can't 7.5 is a big number in this one. Especially the way Dart's playing.
Yeah, especially
A
for
mobile
this
quarterback,
game. This
man.
game is that that just doesn't look right for this game.
Right.
You know,
And they only put a 13 against the Jets.
yeah, I
You
could
know,
see that. I could see this number being that way if maybe Russell Wilson was starting or Jameis
true,
Winston,
true.
but not with Dart.
Especially the way the Giants have played the last few weeks. You
That's what
know,
I'm saying too. So
yeah,
yeah, kind of baffling to me. So yeah,
yeah.
we're both seeing the same thing. All right, next one. Another pretty decent game here, big game. The Indianapolis Colts are going to LA to face the Chargers. This is a pick 'em, basically. The Colts are going to get a point and a half, and the over under is set at 48 and a half. If that's the case, I know that these two teams can score. I'm automatically taking the over. Not yet, buddy. I'm automatically taking the over, and the Colts are hot. Indiana Jones has got this team moving and grooving. Um, I'm taking the Colts, and I'm getting a point and a half on top of it. So if this was a straight pick'em game, I'd take the Colts. If the Colts were, you know, giving 3.5, I'd still take the Colts. But I'm all over the Colts in this one, and that over, especially with these teams and being able to score points. I'm going to take the over. So Colts and over.
Colts in the over. Um,
I'm on a lot of overs in this week.
Interesting game here. Good game between two of the better teams in the AFC. Um, Let me see. Man, this is interesting. That numbers were right where it should be to me in over under. I'm going to take the under though. I think the both teams are going to try to lean. Well, we know the Colts are going to lean on that running game. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Um, I just think the Chargers are a little too much for them. Um, I think that 1.5 could come into play, but I'm going to take the Chargers and the under in this. So I'm going to go the opposite of you.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a hell of a game, though. I think this is a really competitive game between two good football
Yeah.
teams.
This is the game that I'm going to want to watch more than the next game. But you already
Yeah,
know it's going to be on TV, and that's going to be Washington Commanders going into Dallas Jerry World and playing the Dallas Cowboys in the Sun Dome. As it turns
right.
out that this game is going to be in that weird time of day where the sun is going down and kind of
Right.
creates weird shadows and shit like that. So um, this is also a pick 'em. The Commanders are going to get a point and a half. The over under is set at 45 and a half.
Wait,
At
wait a minute. They're getting a point and a half,
the
or they're
Washington
giving?
the Washington Commanders are going to
Yes.
get. They are
Wow.
receiving.
Wow.
They have won the toss and elected to receive a point and a half.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Okay.
the over under is set at 54 and a half. I'm not scared by that 54 and a half. I'm taking the over because I think both of these teams are just going to go rampant. And even though, that sun weird thing is going to happen in the stadium when it pours through the windows and gets all goofy in there, and I still think that, I mean, it's going to play a factor for sure. But they're going to just go banana land in there. There might be 90 points in this game when it's all said and done. Um, but McLaurin is out. And
Again, fourth
yeah,
straight game.
yeah,
Wow.
and by the sounds of it, it hasn't changed who the Commanders are. When Daniels is out, it changes who the Commanders are,
Right.
and
Right.
Daniels isn't out. So they lost a heartbreaker to Chicago last night, or not last night, but last week. And I think that this is gonna be that team that's gonna want to get back up there because they know that they can play with anybody, and they got, instead of the Hail Mary going for them like it did 2 years ago, it actually went against them this time. So um, I'm hoping it's not going to be the opposite of what happened last year, right? They ended up getting that Hail Mary, and that seemed to what turned their season around.
Right.
Let's
Right.
hope that that last second field goal to win to lose that game isn't going to tank their season now. So I'm going to bet on them being able to turn it around, and I'm going to take. Oh man, now I don't know. I want it. Let's put it this way. I want to take the Commanders, so I'm going to take Dallas. And I think one of the biggest reasons why is George Pickens.
And CeeDee Lamb's back. Correct me if I'm wrong this week.
I haven't checked that, but I'll have to look. But I'm glad you said that because now that you said that, I definitely want to take Dallas. So again, I still see a lot of points in this game, but I'll ride with Dallas on this one, and that hurts to say because I hate Dallas passion too.
I am on with you in the over. I don't see any defense in this game whatsoever. Dallas is hard to stop regardless if you have a good defense.
Right.
They can run the ball, they can throw the ball. CeeDee Lamb's back, which I think he is. Um, in Washington, with Daniels, are a completely different team.
Yeah.
Hell of an offense. The running game, Dallas they Dallas can't stop the run regardless. So it could be whatever 300 dragon they throw out there this week for the Commanders is going to run for a lot of yards. Give me the Commanders on the over. I think they got to stop the win at the end of the game. Them getting a point just it makes me want them even more. So give me Washington in the over in this one.
Washington and the over. Okay. I know I wanted to take Washington too, but I think Dallas just they have a little bit more in their arsenal with their receivers. Um,
Oh,
and I
listen, with Ferguson and Pickens, if CD's back,
yeah,
you get look at them like you're going to put 35 every week. Honestly,
they should.
And now
They
they found the running back with Deontay Williams. So
they should. Um, Titans, just to go back to the Titans and Patriots. Calvin Ridley was rolled out,
mm.
so that's something also to see. All right, and it says yes. C.D. Lamb said. So this came from him himself. Said he will play in Week 7 against the Commanders without limitations.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, I'm good with my pick. Here's a game here that could have been interesting, but not now. Um, and that is the Green Bay Packers playing the Arizona Cardinals, and the Packers are giving 6.5 to the Cardinals at home, and the over under is set at 44.5. I believe that Jacoby Brissett is the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals.
He should be.
I think so. I
Is
don't think
Murray still questionable or
I think he is. I don't think they've actually made a determination on that. They're still trying to figure out if he can go or not. Um, well, let's put it this way: they're 2-4. Maybe it's a good time to let him rest.
well, I think they've lost four straight if I'm not wrong. If I'm not wrong.
It's possible. Uh, yes, you are correct. They've lost 4 straight. Close games, though. It's not like they
Yeah.
were blowouts. They were close games.
Right. Right.
Um, but yes, they have lost 4 in a row. Um, make this 5 in a row because I'm going to take the Packers. I'm going to lay the points, and I'm actually going to take the under in this game as well. I don't trust Arizona to be doing much of the scoring, um, even with Jacoby Brissett in there and Marvin Harrison being able to come back to practice with a non-contact limitations on him. I think he's out of the woods on that front, and so is
So he's over the concussion.
yeah, I think he's good to go
Okay.
from what I saw, but I still don't think it's enough. Um,
Right.
I think the Packers will get back on track considering the fact that they're 3-1-1. You wouldn't think that they would need to get it back on track, but they do. And I think this is a good game to do it. So give me Arizona or give me the Packers and give me the under.
Well, we're in the same boat there. I'm with you on Green Bay. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
They're just not the dominant team I thought they'd be after week 1 and week 2.
Right.
So give me Green Bay in the over in this one. I just think Carolina's a bad football. I mean, Arizona's a bad football team.
I do
I
too.
think they'll find a way into the end zone eventually. I just think Green Bay bounces back, and they struggled. They won the game against Cincy, but struggled. Didn't look too good in my opinion. And they just need to start putting everything together on offense. In defense, I think they can shut this team down a bit, but Carolina score enough to keep it to get that over. So give me Green Bay in the over in this one.
Green Bay and over. All right. So this is where I decided to take my defensive pick. And after the outing they had against the Buffalo Bills, I was quite impressed. So I get to watch them again on primetime Sunday night against the San Francisco 49ers. That team is also getting 2.5 points, and that's the Atlanta Falcons. So Atlanta is getting 2.5 against San Francisco. In San Francisco, the over/under is set at 47.5. I'm taking Atlanta with the 2.5. I'm also taking them for my defensive touchdown, and with a 47.5. I'm going to take the under because I could see this being like a 27-20 game, just under that hook. Um, some variation of that, possibly 23-20, 24-21, some variation of that. But I see this being under. But I'm taking Atlanta.
Is
And I believe Mac Jones is also still playing, still starting.
okay. I was gonna ask you. Yeah,
I will find out for sure as you talk.
yeah. So I am leaning towards Atlanta myself in this one. Um, I just think they're starting to put it together. Very impressive wins against Washington and Buffalo. Um, the thing that worries me, they seem like a different team away from home.
Mm.
Um, but I definitely think they're going to win this game in Frisco. Um, Frisco, let me see something on them.
So Mac Jones is probably going to be the starter.
Okay. Okay. Um, give me, man, Mac Jones is a starter. Give me Arizona in the over, Atlanta in the over in this one.
Okay.
Is it me or is Mac Jones Brock Purdy part two?
A lot of
They're
people are
kind of like the
saying
same quarterback.
a
Right?
lot of people are preferring Mac Jones over Brock Purdy,
Interesting.
especially a lot of analysts. You know, they're saying that Mac Jones is the better of the two. Um, but I like Brock Purdy because I like the fact that he's not this huge name. You know, I like the fact that he was just a Joe Schmo coming out,
Right.
and he ended
Right.
up being this, you know, great quarterback, despite everybody saying that this guy is Mr. Irrelevant.
Right.
You
Right.
know, that's what I like about him. So I do end up trying to pull for the guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do too. It just, everyone does put jabs at him for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah. So the next one that we got here is the first of two Monday night games that we're going to get into, and that's the
Can we
Tampa.
stop that, by the way? 2 Monday night games.
Yeah, I think the only reason why there's two Monday night games is this whole London international series that
Okay,
goes on. I believe
that makes sense.
I believe that's why. Um,
Okay,
because it seems like every time there's an international game, we have two Monday night games.
it does. You're right. You're
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
so I don't know why that is. It's got to be a money thing.
Oh,
Every
definitely. No
it
doubt
always
about it.
it's always about a money thing anyway. So, but yeah, this one seems to be this one's going to be a good game. No matter which way you wanna roll this around, this should be a good game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Detroit to face the Lions. The Bucks are
Ooh,
going the Bucks are going to get 5.5, and the over under is set at 52.5.
wow.
And considering what the Bucks have been able to do to teams without their top guys, 49ers, they almost pulverized them 30-19. Seahawks 38-35. They scored a bunch of points on them, especially against a defense that we all thought that was, you know, the Seahawks had a better defense than most of these other teams. They lost to the Eagles, and even though it was a loss, they only lost by 6. Um, but you can easily say that they beat some other teams, very close teams, very close games by points, realistic points, like Texans by 1, Jets by 2,
Right.
Falcons by 3. So they're winning tight games, but they probably should be blowing out those tight games, especially against uh, those teams I mentioned in the beginning of the season. Um, this is tough because I love Baker and him being a just flinging gun artist out there, and I don't want to pick against him because he's going to get 5.5 on top of it. No, I'm gonna take exactly what I've been shown, and that's that Detroit has uh, a couple games where they've struggled. They've had a couple games where they've dominated. Um, I don't know if they've really figured out what in the world they're doing because they've been on a roller coaster, so to speak. Tampa's been consistent. They've been consistently scoring points all year long, and they're going to get 5.5 on top of it. So I don't expect Detroit to stop Tampa that well, and I don't expect Detroit to score as willingly on Tampa as well either. That would sound like I'm going under, but I'm going to take the over in this game because I think it's going to be a gun show because it's 52 and a half, and these both of these teams can score points, and they can score points very fast. But I'm going to take Tampa getting the points, and I'm going to take the over.
Okay.
Well, that was
Very
mental
simple for
warfare.
me. Yeah, I saw that. You were struggling there with yourself.
I was struggling bad, man.
Yeah, simple one for me here. Detroit's given up 24 points at least in every game, but they're scoring 30 in the last five, I think, of every. I mean, so give me Detroit in the over at home. I think it's going to be a hell of a game, a
Okay.
fun game to watch. But I just think this is like a 34-24 game, 33-24 game. I like the Lions at home. They're tough. I like Tampa. I love watching Baker play, though, too.
I do
He's
too.
going to score. The problem for Tampa's going to be their defense in this one because
Mm,
no one has seemed to slow down Detroit. Another
right.
tidbit in the last 11 Lions losses, they're 11-0 against the spread. I think that continues in this one. So I think it's going to be a hell of a game, but I see a big number over under wise, and I like Detroit in the over.
Okay. I'm gonna take Baker to put a chink in that armor. 11 and they're gonna be 11-1 after this, and I think it's because it's good Baker. So, all right, last game we got here is the Houston Texans and Seattle Seahawks playing at 10 p.m. on Monday night, late game. Should very well be able to watch this Tampa Bay game in its entirety, and then be able
Yeah.
to switch over to Houston Seattle. Um, So I have the Texans getting 3.5 against Seattle, and the over under is set at 41.5. Um,
Oof.
yep. So I'm only going with this team because of the fact that they've been pretty consistent, even though they dropped a couple games. Um, they've played some tough teams. They beat the snot out of the Steelers. They beat the snot out of the Saints, which they should have. They beat a Jaguars team, which again has done better in recent weeks than normal. They just missed and just missed out on winning against Tampa Bay with a very tight game, and that so happened to be a 3-point swing right there. So the fact that I'm going to take Seattle minus 3.5 when it looks like it could hurt me, I just don't think that the Houston Texans are that big of a threat. And as far as the over under set at 41.5. And you got your bonus words. I just don't know. Good job, buddy. Way to go. I just don't know about scoring. Let's see here, real quick. You tell me. So the Seattle Seahawks have been able to score. Is there anything else you learned? What was your special today? Their lowest score of the year has been 13. What do you think? And again, I don't think Houston's defense is better than anybody else's. So I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take Seattle. You already know what multiplication is. Over in Seattle.
Okay. Uh,
How many times does Pap tell you?
I am going with you on Seattle. I don't think Houston is very good. They're not consistent. I don't care if Nico Collins and Stroud haven't had that same connection. They have some splash plays here and there, but consistency isn't on the Houston menu lately. They've been consistently bad, if anything. Um, running wise, it's Nick Chubb, it's Marks, it's who knows. You know what I mean? That Seattle defense is really good. They're opportunistic. I can see them getting some turnovers this week. Give me Seattle on the under though, because I think Houston's defense is going to come to play. They're going to put their All-Pro corner Stingley on JSN, so that'll be interesting. I just like Seattle on the under in this one, probably like 24-14 or something like that. I think Stroud's taking a step backwards this year. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
You know. So.
And it just so happens though that their last two games, one was against the Titans, which again, not a great team, 26 to nothing that they beat them. And then the other one, which on paper looks remarkable, but when you consider the injuries and everything that happened, they beat the Ravens 44-10. But when you look at it, there was no Lamar. There was no Lamar Jackson. The defense is shredded with.
They had 6 starters out against Houston in that game. Yeah.
So again, when you look at it on paper and you're like, holy God, they blew them out. But in reality, when you look at it, they picked the bones clean off of the Ravens defense.
Right.
So
right.
I'm not impressed by it. But yeah, I don't like. I don't even like this game as far as trying to pick this game either. I just don't like it at all.
I think you can flip a coin for over under in this one, just depending if there's a big play or not defensively.
Right.
Honestly, offensively though, I just don't think Houston isn't a playoff team right now.
No.
They're the third best team in that division, only because Tennessee's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're Jacksonville and Indianapolis are head and shoulders the cream of the crop in that division. And Houston is they're nowhere near sniffing a playoff spot as of now, how they're playing. So
I agree.
I'm going with Seattle team who right now they're tough. You know, they go into Jacksonville last week and beat them, and they're doing it all kinds of ways. They're scoring points for playing really good defense across the board. So, I don't see that stopping against this Houston team who, honestly, what's their identity right now?
Right.
Last year they had that explosive passing offense and a pretty balanced running game. This year they have neither of the two. And C.J. Stroud seems, like I said, taking a step backward and more turnovers, than he's had in a while. So, plus Stroud doesn't seem to be kept upright much by that offensive line. So,
I agree. So yeah, that's the slate. Yeah. With Matt here, it's hard to give more perspective into what we've already talked about. So,
right,
we don't get to look at things from a different perspective without him. So, with that being said, I think with that, if there's nothing else that you got or want to talk about,
nope, that's what we got. Done.
Yep. So, if that's the case, then thanks everybody for joining us on a special time in our Sports Dummies. We should be back to full capacity next Friday in our normal time slot. Also Tuesday we should be back normal time. We have a playoff game on Saturday, so depending on the outcome of that, I could even go early on Tuesdays instead of 9:00 on Tuesday. We could probably do like 8:00 on Tuesday. But I'll let you know how that goes.
Okay.
We'll see how everything goes there, and good luck to our Plum Colts who are going to play.
Good luck to the Colts in the playoffs. There you go.
Yeah, they're going to play Pine Richland, and there's one of the Colts right there.
There you go.
6.
There he is.
Yep. We're going to play Pine Richland at Pine Richland. They're ranked pretty high. They're number 3. We're number 6. So good luck to all the Colts out there. And yeah, good season. If not, then build for next year. But again, thanks everybody. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop us a comment and let us know that you hate us or love us. And with that being said, thanks, Mike.
Yep. Good luck, brother. Have a good night.
All right, buddy. You too. Any bets you got out there, make sure that they're on your winning side, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.